Hello, Red Sox fans, and welcome back to another video with Brandon and I as we talk about everything going on with the Red Sox. But it's a little bit different today because instead of everything going on with the Red Sox, it seems like absolutely nothing is going on with the Red Sox, as the Red Sox are one of two teams that have done absolutely nothing this winter when it comes to signing a free agent. It is them and the Colorado Rockies who have not signed a single free agent this offseason, which is kind of crazy when you think how just famous the Red Sox really are in just their upper echelon of,
Mhm.
everything. So, Brandon, I want to get your thoughts on this, considering just what the heck is going on in Boston?
Yeah, I'll note obviously it is major league free agents we're talking about. There have been minor league signings, like Alec Gamboa at the winter meetings, but the big stuff we're talking about is the major league free agents, which the Red Sox and the Rockies are the only two teams as of this recording, which is just before Christmas at this point, that haven't signed a major league free agent. Which, look, this happens. I mean, there are off seasons where teams, slow play things. And again, the Red Sox have made moves. The trade for Sonny Gray, I thought was a nice move. The Johan Oviedo trade didn't make quite as much sense to me, but again, that's another starting pitcher who's got a lot of potential. There have been other trades. They traded Vaughn Grisham. They traded Luis Perales in that prospect for prospect trade with the Nationals. So, I mean, again, it's not like it's not like they've been completely sitting on their hands. It's just that they're not signing the players they keep getting attached to, which again, Kazuma Okamoto's still out there, Alex Bregman's still out there, Tatsuya Imei is still out there. It's not like, all of their targets are gone. It's just like you don't want to be in the same sentence as the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So,
a really weird time right now because again, in years past, we've seen so many moves be made by the front office. So right now, it's funny because you and I were just talking about in the past as journalists and even as fans of the Red Sox, how we're so sick of how everybody's talking about, if I see one more, is Alex Bregman going to sign,
mhm.
article? And look, here on Talk Sox, we're very excited if Alex Bregman is going to sign and all, but everybody's asking this question at this point. So are they going to make this move or do they have other plans in mind? Nobody seems to know at this point.
Yeah, no, it's just it's again it's worth pointing in mind that Craig Breslow, who was a disciple of the Jed Hoyer era of the Cubs, who another team that we cover for Diamond Centric. If you know anything about the Cubs run by Jed Hoyer, it's that they also don't like to sign big free agents, even though they're a big market team, just like the Red Sox. They like to make these smaller moves. But even in that sense, the Cubs have still signed a bunch of major league free agents, mostly in the bullpen this year, but they've still been aggressive with their targets. The Red Sox have not. And again, the rotation was the big need. Sonny Gray and Johan Oviedo should not be overlooked. Those were really important trades that should positively impact the team in 2026. But again, there's still a really big need, especially on the infield right now, for a big bat. Again, Alex Bregman would be great, but outside of Trevor's Story at shortstop, nothing on the infield is locked in. The first base is completely a black hole unless Tristan Casas is totally healthy, which is hard to depend on right now. Second base is unclear. Maybe Marcelo Meyer will, take over. And third base is unclear, with Bregman still lingering. So again, this could all lead to Bregman resigning or maybe Bo Bichette coming to Boston. Again, there's still Kazuma Okamoto again remains a very popular name in Boston, but it's just right now, at this point, about halfway through the offseason, it's just very bizarre to see the Red Sox, playing this in such a patient way when a lot of the top targets are coming off the board.
Yeah, I think one other thing to think about is we saw a lot of young players get injured so fast. So I think the front
Mhm.
office is kind of playing it very close to the vest. Well, not only we saw a lot of injuries happen, we saw a lot of young players come up very quickly. We could talk about, Nate Eaton. You could talk about Romy Gonzalez. You could talk about Connolly Early. So all of these names, the Red Sox are no strangers to young players kind of coming up, but they might be playing it close to the vest as well. But the question on I think all our minds is at the same time, we're the Boston Red Sox at the end of the
Mhm.
day. We have some heavy hitters always on our list. And not to say we don't have them right now, but I feel like something's missing from the puzzle.
Yeah, again, I'll wrap this up again with sort of the reminder that we are only 6 weeks to 2 months into the offseason at this point. There's still plenty of time, still plenty of players worth signing. It's just that, again, with the Orioles getting Pete Alonso and the Toronto Blue Jays getting Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce, and it feels like everybody at this point, and the Yankees haven't done much actually, but they're still involved in Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger. Even the Rays have signed Steven Matz away from the Red Sox. So it's just, again, with the division getting stronger and stronger as it always does, and again, the rest of the American League, making moves to, elevate themselves. It just feels like, again, the Red Sox, we know, have the money and the capital to spend on, a big free agent, or at least a couple of, more not small, impactful guys. And so we'll see what happens on that front. Again, I'm still optimistic that at least one of the top targets will come to Boston by the end of the offseason. Craig Breslow has shown that his patience can pay off with enough time to, sort of, bring these guys to his level in negotiations. But as always, we'll see. What are your guys' thoughts on this topic? Obviously, again, the Red Sox have had a decent offseason with their trades, but eventually they got to sign somebody, you'd think. So who's the top target for you right now as we head into the holiday season? Is there someone particular in the new year that you really want to see the Red Sox sign or avoid? And as always, we'll try to respond to every single comment.